Francois Delacour. The two immediately dominated. Carlos Sainz, still coming to terms with his new Lancia, hadn't been having the best of times. His runabouts in 1993 continued in Portugal. Throughout the event, the Fords were fast and faultless. Delacour was best of all, winning his first ever World Championship event, closely followed by his experienced teammate Biasion. It made up for the disappointment of Monte Carlo, where they'd run second and third, and showed the Fords were a force to be reckoned with. Ford stayed away from the rally acknowledged as the world's toughest, the Kenyan Safari Rally. But Team Toyota turned up with serious intent. 4 cars. It turned out to be a Toyota benefit, with the cars finishing 1, 2, 3 and 4. Ewa Kankinen first and veteran competitor Marco Allen second. Back to Europe and the spectacular twisty coastal roads on the island of Corsica. After winning here 5 years out of 6, Didier Auriol had every reason to feel confident. But mechanical problems were interfering with his charge. However, Auriol's problems were nothing compared with those of Lancia driver Andrea Aghini, who lost a wheel at a most inopportune spot. Once again, the new Ford of Delacour was showing the way with speed and reliability. His teammate Biasion incurred an 11-minute penalty, and even though his position was impossible, he was going as hard as he could, perhaps too hard sometimes. Victory went to Delacour for the second time, with Toyota's Auriol in second place. The Acropolis Rally boasted the strongest field of the season, with 6 teams entered. But this is a rally of attrition. Didier Auriol smashed his sump. Francois Delacour quit after suffering fuel pump failure. Ari Vatanen drove over a cliff. Colin McRae had transmission failure, and Ewa Kankinen had electrical problems. It was Mickey Biasion's Ford which held together and took Ford's 3rd victory of the year. Carlos Sainz finally recorded a good result in the Lancia, coming in second. The next round of the World Championship was in Argentina, and it was Ewa Kankinen showing the way. Mickey Biasion was the only Ford driver taking part, and although he'd won here 3 times previously, he was hampered by dust and was unable to catch the flying fin. Toyota first, Ford second. In New Zealand, Ford and Toyota were to be upstaged by Subaru. Colin McRae, celebrating his 25th birthday, was having the time of his life in the Legacy, coming out the best in a 5-way battle between himself, Sainz, Kankinen, Delacour and Vatanen. It was an impressive victory by just 27 seconds. The first Briton in 20 years to win a World Championship event, and Subaru's first victory as well. Buoyed by its New Zealand success, Subaru chose the Thousand Lakes Rally in Finland to debut its new Impreza, and Ari Vatanen showed the team had done its homework. In spectacular fashion, he set the pace, along with Ewa Kankinen in the Toyota, driving his own roads. The two waged an exciting battle over 3 days, with Kankinen just edging out Vatanen in the Subaru. After 1,000 Lakes, the World Drivers' Championship looks like this, with Kankinen leading, but Auriol, Delacour and Biasion are all in striking range. In the Manufacturers' Championship, Toyota has finally moved ahead of Ford. But with the newcomer able to compete in all 4 final events, the question is, can the team hold on? Especially now the rapidly improving Subaru team is also looking threatening.
And we'll return with more in a moment with the Telecom Rally Australia. Welcome back. Nice to have your company right around Australia. Well, this year's World Rally Championship has been a season of firsts. Colin McRae won his first World Championship event, Subaru recorded its first ever victory and debuted its new Impreza. And Mitsubishi paraded its new Lancer Evolution. But by far the biggest first was the appearance of the new Ford Cosworths. They've been an outstanding success this season and, as Charles Stewart reports, stand a good chance of winning both the Manufacturers and Drivers' World Championships.
It was obvious right from the start of the season the new Ford Escort Cosworths were a potent force. At the Monte Carlo rally, the team turned up with Italy's most successful rally driver, Mickey Biassion, who won the World Championship in 1988 and 1989, and Frenchman Francois Delacour, a talented driver yet to win a World Championship event. Immediately, the two unsettled the big guns like Didier Auriol, Carlos Sainz and Juha Kankkunen by setting new record times on about half of the event's special stages. The two Fords were denied victory on the penultimate stage by a dazzling drive from Didier Auriol in the Toyota, and they finished with Delacour second, Biassion third. However, in their next outing, Portugal, they went 1-2. The first victory for the new Ford, the first victory for Delacour. When Delacour won again in Corsica, the motoring writers were wondering if they were looking at a potential new world champion.
I don't think now to the World Championship because I have to go in Australia, I have to go in New Zealand, I have no experience. I think maybe the next year, but this year is only to learn the
The Ford bandwagon rolled on with Biassion winning in Greece and then coming second in Argentina, whilst Delacour grabbed another second place at his first attempt in New Zealand. The team shared first place in the Manufacturers' Championship with the powerful Team Toyota Europe, and its drivers, Delacour and Biassion, were snapping at the heels of three-time world champion Juha Kankkunen in the Drivers' Championship.
Ford this year has a fantastic new Escort. This car is very, very competitive. So the team is working very well, the mechanics, the management, everybody is working. So I think that Fords can be one of the best team in the World Championship for this year and the future too. So we are very, very happy about it.
As the team had never contested Rally Australia, it made a quick trip to Western Australia last month to test its cars and tyres on the unique gravel of the southwest. The experienced Biassion enjoyed the test.
I had yesterday the first day of test, and okay, the roads are quite slippery, but are not so are very nice roads, are not so difficult. It's important to have to understand, to have the right feeling, and then you can drive like in a normal rally. But normally the landscape and the roads are very, very nice.
Like all the top rally cars, the new Escorts are turbocharged four-wheel drives, but they incorporate a new water-injected cooling system, and the gearbox doesn't have 6 forward gears, it has 7. The package is very fast, and most importantly, reliable. With the appearance of the Fords, Rally Australia will be the most hotly contested event of the year. Team Toyota will be here in strength with Kankkunen and Auriol. Lancia will have two-time world champion Carlos Sainz. Subaru will have the flying Finn Ari Vartman and dashing young Scot Colin McRae as their chief pilots, with New Zealand's Possum Bourne thrown in for good measure. And Mitsubishi will have the flamboyant Ross Dunkerton in the new Lancer Evolution. Everyone will be gunning for the Toyotas, but now with the Fords doing so well and Subaru fresh from victory in New Zealand, the shootout in the West will be of a magnitude never before seen in this country.
We'll see how those escort... Welcome back. Well, with budgets as big...
Important to know very well the roads, and being here for the first time is quite difficult to be very competitive, but in rally sport we never know, and every driver is trying his best, so I will try to do my best, and maybe I will see.
But in this level of competition, it's so difficult to even win a stage, let alone the rally, that all you can do is try and pull the maximum out of yourself and give it your best shot. And that's what we'll be doing this weekend. And I for sure would like to finish in the top 4.
The year has not been so good for us. We start with not very good luck, and the year has continued like a start. So what we are trying, what we are looking for, is to obviously try to win a rally in this final part of the season. I hope can be here in Australia, because I mean it is a rally that we have never won in the past. It is one of the few rallies I have never won, and I would like to have it.
This year for me I think is difficult now, but I remember last year I am really leader easy, and everybody say, oh, now you have won maybe we say. And okay, nothing happened, so maybe this year I am a very bad place for the moment, so maybe I can win the 3 last events, and maybe I can win. Wait and see.
This year really is, for the Lancer, is a development year. They don't expect any big results with it, because with building a rally car and developing it, it takes quite some time. And this year they have decided this was the development year, so the main thing for us is to make sure the car runs well, make sure I don't bend it, and just develop it from here for a big attack next year.
For me, it's completely different surface. I'm not usually here, and I have to go not slow, because nobody goes slow here, but I have to be careful, because it's very, very easy to crash the car. And I have to get some point for the World Championship. It's so important for me to finish this event in a good position, and to finish, it's very important for me.
I think it's important for me, for myself, to get a good result, especially after winning New Zealand. It would be nice to come here and win again, but it's a little more difficult in New Zealand, this event. And that the roads are just more difficult to drive on. They're very unpredictable, and the surface changes a lot. And it maybe sounds a bit silly, but when it's dry and hot here, there's actually less grip than there is when it's wet. So it's just a very difficult stages.
It's a question about your own confidence, really. It's end of the day, if you believe in yourself, if you believe that, yes, I can do it, and it's a real, genuine feeling inside you, you can do well, and that feeling is now coming back, and we are really looking forward to this event.
If we win here, me or you are, it's finished. We have won the Constructor Championship. So it's why we must try.
Ross, what do you think it takes to be a really good rally driver?
Well, a lot of people have asked me the same question, and there is a fair bit of skill, but I think there is an element of probably a bit of this, I think, as well. Oh.
He is a wild man, our Ross Darkinen, isn't he? But there is plenty between his ears, believe you me, and he will...
The circuit, and the advantage is that there's flyover and an underneath pass here. That means that the two cars could actually drive on the same bit of road for the whole bit of the event. So they do 2 laps, but 2 laps one after the other almost, but together. It sounds complicated, doesn't it, Daryl?
The man-on-man concept, the car versus car, driver versus driver, I mean, that's a fantastic concept, isn't it?
Well, it is, because they don't normally have this situation, because you can't have two cars going on the same bit of road normally at the same time. But what they've been able to do here is do that, but they're still split, basically, and it's a very good concept.
It's going to be fantastic. Well, West Australia's wild man of rally, in fact, one of the leading drivers in this sort of motor racing anywhere in Australia in the Pacific area, is Ross Duncan. He took us for a wild ride around Langley Park.
Okay, are you ready? Hold on. Everybody, and away we go. First, second, third, fourth. We'll try and get it. Yeah, fifth. Quick, back through. Push it through. Bang it through. Back into second. Nice and tight. Close to the pull. Close. Close to the series spot. Pretty appropriate, eh? Let's go. Come on. Into a left-hander. And we straighten up for this fantastic jump. Hold the phone. Over we go. Oh, come on. Into a right-hander. Into a left. And there it comes. Come on. 140. 160. Oh, oh. How's the adrenaline going? Into the right-hander. And nice and tight. And this is a dangerous one here. Very tight. Back in the first touch, the handbrake. Come on, come on, come on. Out in the booties. Hold the phone. Come on. Keep it tight. Oh, oh. And here we go. Here we go into the tunnel. Oh, oh. Touch it. We're in the tunnel. Nice and straight through the tunnel. And out through it. Oh, oh, oh. Oh. Busier than a one-legged man in a bomb-kicking competition. Oh, and here we go. Oh, a really tight, top right-hander. Oh, here we go. Oh, just a bit of a clip. In tight. Come on. And here we go. We're on the straight. Absolutely flat. 150. Anybody scared? Well, I am.
He is a wild man, isn't he? Good luck to Duncan on the rally. He really is a special person. My teeth are chapped. They're underneath the stands trying to get some protection, but it has eased off a little. That's the city skyline, just really a matter of hundreds of metres away from this fantastic track. Colin Bond, well, the weather's put a damper on it, but it's certainly going to make it spectacular.
Well, it will. I mean, just interesting to see these cars come onto the circuit the first time and just see how really slippery it is.
Well, we're looking at Mickey Biassian's car. This is the first time we've seen the Ford Motor Company's Ford Escort Cosworth in action. Now, what about this for a match-up? First up, he takes on Carlos Sainz, of course, the current world champion. And that's the look from the world champ's car. We'll get some onboard shots from there. You can see the wipers just now have gone on to intermediate, just wiping the water off. But what a great match-up here. We've got the Lancia Delta Integrale. That's, of course, Carlos Sainz and Luis Moya, his long-time navigator, up against Mickey Biassian, the Italian, with Tarzian Silvanio with him. Now, let's have a look at Biassian's record. They say he's a bit of a wild man, Colin. In 93, first at Acropolis, second Portugal, second Argentina, third Monte Carlo, seventh in Corsica.
Well, it's the first time we've actually seen the Fords here, and I don't know an awful lot about them. They've been performing extremely well this year, of course, but I really think that Carlos is going to take this particular one out.
Geez, it looks the business to Ford, though, doesn't it? And the Lancia Delta Integrale, well, of course, Carlos Sainz is fourth in Corsica, second Acropolis, fourth in New Zealand. He's had a pretty lousy year, the champ. The car hasn't quite worked out.
Well, see, Lancia actually pulled the pin, I think, on the factory team, and the Jolly Club have been taking over, and he's been running that car this year. And I guess it's not the same as what he has had in the past with the Toyota organisation.
And this is one event he's never won, and he would love to win here. He loves to race here. He loves to drive in Australia. He has tremendous support here in Australia, and he's hoping that this will be his event. So perhaps this package suited to our conditions?
Well, the Lancias have done very well here in the past, and of course they do suit these conditions very well. And I guess, yeah, the guy is just a brilliant driver. He is the current world champion.